All right, did you ever wonder how we can get repeating decimals into fractions? You got some of the easy fractions right up here that I have up on the screen right here. These are the easy ones that we've taught you how to basically move it twice, and you're going to get that decimal into a percentage, and then also you put it over the place value, and you can reduce it. That's how you get like 1/8. But what about these right here? You can do some memorization. Like you're going to see 1/6 a lot. You're going to see 5/6. And you're going to see some denominators with 9 and 11, and you might know some of the tricks. So what happens if you can't remember those tricks? Hopefully your algebra skills will help you out on this one. A lot of times it's going to be over like 9 or 99, but that's not always the case. Like if I put 3 repeating, put over 9, that's going to be 1/3. And you know that 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. And then if it's 27, put over 99. But let's show you how the algebra works on this one. Give an example. Notice how the bars over both the 7 and the 2. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to find a trick by lining up the decimals and see if we can cancel them out. So before even putting numbers on the left here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about is okay, if I line this up, can I cancel out the repeating part? Sure, I could cancel out everything here, but I'm going to have 0. I don't want to have 0, and I don't want to have any decimals. If I put the decimal right here, this does not cancel out anything. If I try to line up everything, it's not going to let me cancel out everything here. So let me try moving it again. Hey, I think this is what's going to happen is if I line up all these right here, the 7, the 2, etc., this whole repeating part is going to cancel out. So mathematically, how can I move the decimal over twice? Well, I got it by multiplying by 100. So 100x is equal to 72 and 72 hundredths repeating. This one right here, I'm just going to keep this as a 1x. I'm just going to keep it as is. So if it's a repeating decimal, quite a times, just you can multiply it by how many times you got to move it over. If there's 2 places, typically it's going to be 100. So here's where our algebra comes into play. I'm going to go 100 minus 1. I'm going to get 99x. And that's what I want to do is I definitely want to have the subtraction right there. And I want this to be a whole number. So luckily, let me get a highlighter right here and show you what's going to happen with these numbers. All these are going to cancel out. They're going to eliminate each other. So basically, I'm having a 0 here. So I am going to get it equal to 72. And then you're going to use your algebra skills. And what you do to one side, you have to do the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 99 on both sides. And this is kind of why we show our work. Because then if you just focus on this area on the right-hand side, you're going to see a fraction. Hopefully you see a fraction of x is equal to 72 over 99. And however you reduce it, there's a lot of different ways that you can work on reducing this. You will get 8/11ths. So basically, if you divide by 9 on this one, on top and bottom, you're going to get 8/11ths. If you're not sure if you've done any of these problems right, you just go with the basics. Go 8 divided by 11, and you're going to get 72 hundredths repeating. So the key thing is try to line up the decimals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for a second. I want you to try this one because it's almost the exact same thing and see how we do. Okay, what you've noticed is on this bottom one here is it's just about the same as the top one. Is where I'm going to be multiplying by 100 on the top, so I move the decimal over twice. On the bottom, I'm going to just multiply by 1. When I do my subtraction, it's going to be almost the same thing here. Instead of it being 72, I will get a difference of 45. And what I'll do is I'll divide by 99. And all I got to do then is reduce that fraction. And if you think about it, with 45 over 99, then you're going to divide by 9, and you're going to get 5/11ths. So that is a real quick way to get the answer for this one. That basically 5/11ths is 45 hundredths repeating. This next one's going to be just a little bit different. This one I have like the second number happens to be repeating. A lot of times you can use 100, but sometimes it might be a little bit of an overkill. So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line it up. And if I line up the decimal like this obviously cancels everything up. If I move it over once, notice it's not going to cancel anything out. So I want the repeating part on the bottom to be here. So I'm going to move this over once. This cancels everything. But it leaves me with 0. So let me move it over once. All right. This will cancel out all the repeating part. This is canceled out. They eliminate each other. So let me think about that. I move this decimal over twice. So if I move it over twice, I'm going to have to multiply it by 100. The bottom, I moved it over once, which is different than last time. So I multiply by 10. And then I'm just going to go, let me double check, make sure everything canceled out here. And I'm going to get 90x on this side. And on the other side, I go 56 minus 5, which is 51. So I've got 51 on both sides. I'm sorry, 51 on this side, 90 on this side. Now that's just a little bit different than the last time. So this time I'm going to divide by 90 on the left and the right. And with that, hopefully you should be getting the same thing of x is equal to 51 over 90. Now with 51 over 90, hopefully you know that definitely 3 goes into both of them. So when you reduce it, you should get 17 over 30. Almost the same thing here on the bottom. What you're going to probably want to try is to see if you can do the exact same thing with the bottom right here. I'm about to show you the answer. So think about how you're going to line everything up, what are you going to move over, how you're going to move it over, and you should get an answer of 47 over 110, I believe. Good luck with it, and I hope that this is helpful about how to move everything over. And just think about lining up the decimals and canceling things out.